Good morning. Today we are going to see operating systems session 14. In the previous topic we have completed all the types of operating system. Today we are going to see a new topic and the topic name is interrupts. The definition of the interrupt. An interrupt is a signal from a device attached to a computer or from a program within the computer that requires the operating system to stop and figure out what to do next. Another definition you can see. When a process is executing by the CPU and when the user requests for another process, then this will create disturbance for the running process. So let us understand this interrupt with the help of an example. Like suppose now I am speaking and in between my phone rings. Then what happens? Concentration goes there and I check out why it is ringing, whose call it is, and then I return back and I continue speaking. So this is like a disturbance in between when one process is going on and the request comes of another process. Let us take another example. Now suppose operating system is executing one task like it is copying a file and in between the interrupt comes by another process and then the operating system for time being it stops copying the file and checks out what type of interrupt it is and it solves it, it handles it and return back to the process which it was executing and again it continues executing that. So this all process will be very fast. So operating system, whatever the interrupt comes, it handles it and then again it continues the executing process. So even when you are working on the system or when you are operating the Android phones, you can see when you are working on any particular software application, lot of interrupts come in between. And this all interrupts overall the operating system handles this. And now suppose you are playing the game on the mobile and in between the somebody's calls come. Then in between that process will stop and you handle your call and then again you return back to that playing the game. So this is how the interrupts come. So the operating system decides whether to handle that interrupt or no, or whether to continue with executing the process. So based on the importance of the process, risk and priorities, the operating system decides how to handle that interrupt. There are two types of interrupts, hardware interrupt and software interrupt. Hardware interrupts which are related to the devices which are attached to the system like keyboards. If the interrupt comes from the keyboard, like now we are working, like we are typing something and in between I press any other key in between. So I am typing and I am also pressing other keys. So it is like one interruption from the keyboard. Or any other interruption like if the keyboard is failed or the keyboard is not working in between. So even this can be the interrupt, or the interruption can be also from the mouse or the printer or any other input output devices. So these are all related to the hardware interrupt, and mostly the hardware interrupts cannot be handled in case of failure of the input output devices. See for example of hardware interrupt, like pressing a key on the keyboard or moving the mouse triggers. Hardware interrupts that cause the processor to read the keystroke or mouse position. That means a operating system is executing one task, is performing one task, and in between if you move the mouse or if you click or if you press the keyboard. Hardware interrupt is finished. Now software interrupt. Software interrupts, it comes from the programs. Now suppose you are writing one program, you are compiling it, you are executing it. Okay. And or you may be operating any other software, and if there is error in that software, and if any of the feature is not working in that software, or due to some busy process it is not able to open that any application. So this all is related to the software interrupt, and even the softwares can be solvable and non-solvable. So some of the software interrupts can be solved by the operating system, and some of the software interrupt cannot be solved by the operating system. So examples of the software interrupt: a division by zero exception. Now we are providing the input and we are giving the input like division by zero, which is a software error, which is a software interrupt. So exception will be thrown if the processor's arithmetic logic unit is commanded to divide a number by zero, as this instruction is in error and impossible. The operating system will catch this exception and can choose about the instruction. So when such type of errors occurs, it is considered as a software interrupt, and the operating system knows how to handle such type of interrupts. Let us understand the interrupts with the help of an example diagram. See, this is the diagram. As we have already studied the operating system. Inside the operating system we have the kernel and user mode. So this is the user mode, this is the kernel mode, and in user mode only the user will be operating, and kernel mode, okay, the processes don't have the permission. That means the user processes don't have the permission. Now there is a user process executing. So this process can be anything. It is executing a program, or you're opening any softwares, you're copying the file, you're working with the input output devices. It can be anything. So when the error occurs, or when any interrupt occurs in between, any disturbance occur, we also call it as exception, and that exception will be sent to the kernel. It will enter the kernel, it will send to the kernel, and the kernel will see that what type of interrupt it is and how to handle that. Okay, in a kernel you will be having some libraries. Using that libraries, the kernel will handle those interruption, and then it comes out and it continues the process which it was executing. See another diagram. The process is executing, then as I told you, the interruption will go to the kernel. Okay, so when the interruption goes to the kernel, so the process which it was executing will be stopped for time being. That means it saves the context of the executing process. Context of the executing process means the process where it has stopped executing, it will save that information, and it will come to the kernel, and it will determine the cause for the exception or interrupt, and it will handle the exception or interrupt. So according to that, it will study first how to handle this interrupt, and then it will send the response. Okay, that is, select a process to restore and resume. It will restore the selected process and resume the execution of the selected process. Restore means where it has stopped executing. From there again it will continue executing the process after handling that interrupt. So this is how the operating system goes from user mode to the kernel mode to handle that interruption. And when the operating system is in the kernel mode, checking about that interruption, if any other interruption comes from the user mode, it is not going to listen because it is busy in handling one interrupt. When the operating system is busy in handling one interrupt, it will not listen any other interrupts. That means the interrupts are disabled to listen any other interrupts. So unless it finishes handling one interrupt, other interrupt will be not listened, not enabled. So when it finishes, it can receive the remaining or any other interrupt which is occurring. Common functions of interrupts. So interrupt transfers control to the interrupt service routine generally through the interrupt vector, which contains the addresses of all the service routines. So when the operating system comes from the user mode to the kernel mode to handle that interrupt, so in that kernel mode there is a interrupt service routine library. There is a interrupt service routine library in which all the information about the interrupts will be stored, and for each interrupt unique number will be given. So based on that unique number it will handle that interrupt. So this is stored in that, which is operating system sees that and it will handle the interrupts. So interrupt architecture must save the address of the interrupted instruction. It saves the context address of that. And then a trap or exception is a software generated interrupt caused either by a error or a user request. Sometimes this interrupt we also called as a trap or exception, which is generated by a error or by a user request due to the system error or by the user request. Incoming interrupts are disabled while another interrupt is being processed to prevent a lost interrupt. So as I told you that when the operating system is busy in handling one interrupt, for time being it will disable all other interrupts, and when it finishes then it will again enable to listen the interrupts. Interrupt handling. The operating system preserves the state of the CPU by storing registers and the program counter. And okay, now as I told you, it is going to save the process which it was executing before going to the kernel mode to handle the interrupt. So it will store the registering registers and program counter. So it will consider the register where it can be stored and program counter and which line number it was executing and how much it has executed. So this information it will store by storing in registers. Two types of interrupts has occurred here. Determines means to handle the interrupts there are two ways. One is polling and one is vector interrupt system. Okay, now let us see what is this. Polling is operating system periodically checks each hardware device to see if new information is available. So this means operating system periodically after some times it keeps on checking if there is a interrupt for any hardware devices or any, like suppose when you attach the pen drive, immediately it will show that a pen drive or a driver is connected or the flash or something, some information the operating system shows. That's because the operating system periodically it keeps on checking for the input hardware devices interruptions. If an event has occurred, operating system retrieves event information and service it. Okay, as I told you, when the USB is connected, it will retrieve the information from that interrupt service routine and it will service it, and how to respond that it will find that. Sometimes polling leads to inefficiency because system must spend a lot of time in checking idle devices. Okay, sometimes it is like inefficient because lot of time will spend in checking the idle devices, even if there is no any input output device interruption, it keeps on checking. So where the CPU time will be wasted there, and CPU utilization also will be wasted even in idle cases. Another is vector interrupts. So in a vector interrupts, a device requesting an interrupt identifies itself directly by sending a special code to the processor over the bus. This enables the processor to identify the device that generated the interrupt. The special code can be the starting address of the interrupt service routine or where the interrupt service routine is located in memory and is called the interrupt vector. So interrupt vector is like it is going to identify the interrupts based on the special codes. So whenever the interrupt comes from the interrupt service routine, with the help of that special code, it will identify what type of interrupt it is. So this enables the processor to identify the device that generated the interrupt. Okay, and it will also identify from which type of device that interrupt has come and how to handle that. So based on special code, the interrupts will be handled in this. So here we have completed the interrupts. So in the next video, we'll see some new topic. Thank you.